pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, now we'll move on to the roll call of members.
That would be me, okay, I'll call it.
I was just writing.
Frank Rawl,
Here?
Mickey Keating,
Here.
Jan Brons called and said he would not be here tonight. Frank Myers,
Here.
George Weiner,
Here.
Ed Luttrell,
Here.
Jamie Bauman.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Great. Let's move on to the approval of the agenda for tonight, July 21st, 2014. Is there a
Okay.
motion?
No, the
You want-
minutes are June, not the.
Oh, the minutes, yeah.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, approval of the minutes from the May 19th, 2014 meeting.
That should be June.
66.
June 16th, 2014 meeting. Is there any discussion or motion on those minutes?
Can I go back just a second?
Sure.
I just noticed at the top, it says Tom Couch, Aldermanic Liaison,
It's Teddy Ross,
so,
Just spell your name wrong.
and he's here.
yeah. But I make a motion to approve the June 16th, 2014 minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Frank seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, very good. The minutes are approved. Move item number 6, introduction of, is it Petrie? Petrie Powell, who's our new Community Development Administrator. Are we on my right?
So she shook hands with everybody, but
I
for
think so.
those in the listening audience, that is Petrie Powell.
I'm teaching Bob.
Great. Glad to have you. Number 7, introduction of evidence.
Commissioners and staff would like to enter into evidence the following, which will apply to the cases to be heard by you tonight. First is the municipal code for the city of St. Genevieve, the adopted design guidelines for the city, and the staff reports with their respective case files.
Thank you. Move on to item 8.
Subject to a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Motion of approval. Is there a motion?
I so move.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We move on to item 8, commission business, new business items. The action items, first is HPCA number 14-0721A. A request to install new vinyl windows, install a new asphalt shingle roof, install new vinyl siding on the rear garage, and add a guard handrail around the exterior step to the basement. So is the person who has made that application here tonight? You'd like to come on up and just give us a quick overview of the project, see if anyone has any questions.
Pardon me?
Well, just give us a quick overview, and we'll see if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, we're just basically wanting to install vinyl windows. They're aluminum, divided light windows in the house now. They're in pretty rough shape. Most of them don't open. They have an unusual awning type of storm window on them. The storm window only opens this far, maybe 5 to 6 inches. Quite honestly, it's kind of a fire hazard, I think. With the brick ledge that lies below them, technically there's only maybe a 3-inch gap. There should be a picture of it
Yeah.
in there. The one that you see open in the front, that's open all the way. And, you know, they're just old and wore out, and,
So you're saying they're not easy with the city?
you know, they're not repairable as far as, it would cost a fortune to repair those windows.
Right, as far as safety, egress windows, they don't open.
That's probably the biggest issue. About half of them
That could be an insurance problem.
mechanically are not sound at all. Several
I will
broken panes.
State that if you turned in a building designed with these windows in bedrooms, you would not be allowed to install.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're not
Yeah.
egress. I don't know how they passed in the beginning. They don't
Exactly.
flush. So that eliminates them right away.
But those are the storm windows, aren't they?
Pardon me?
Those are the
Yes.
storm
Some,
windows.
they're odd though, they're kind of built onto the window. We did a lot of research on the internet to try to see what our options were, because initially we weren't going to replace the windows. We were going to go ahead and try to repair them, but the deeper we got into, you know, investigating it, trying to find parts, we couldn't even find a manufacturer, anything close to that. I've been putting windows in my whole life. I've never seen a storm window designed like that, so I think they were designed for the windows. But there again, I'm not sure.
We had a question, are you Les Troutman?
Junior.
Junior, okay, just trying to put it in the minutes, no problem. Okay, any other questions, or?
Unless you've been involved with other historical contributing houses in town, that you've sat here and they've allowed vinyl windows, maybe not, you presented it for certificate of appropriateness,
Yeah.
but you've been involved with, I know of 3
Yeah.
that they've allowed, and they were, they're more contributing than this one. I looked at the home, there's a lot of glass and a lot of windows.
Yep. There's 13 units in it, I think.
Now, I went and looked at it before I came here, and there's a house adjacent from that has aluminum clad windows.
Yeah, that's,
So as I look around, I'm starting to see.
there are houses in the neighborhood that have vinyl windows.
Right. And is this a brick veneer home? I mean,
No, it's brick.
So it's brick, so,
Yep.
so the windows, these windows are.
I'm not looking forward to taking them out, I gotta tell you.
I can't imagine.
They're gonna be difficult.
Now, you've been in windows, and I know your dad has, the design of that window, all them panels, is just the design of this metal or aluminum window, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just true divided light, they call it.
Yeah, that's what they do to all of them. It's no historical significance, it's just,
No.
if you buy that, like, I remember the maintenance shed had the same windows that we allowed to be removed, and they were that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, the old Ford, yep.
And I know we allowed them to be changed, so I don't,
I would say, anybody has any-
I'm thinking it's typically the same
Yeah.
thing. There's a lot of glass in that home, and economically wise, I try to hear it, so,
Yeah, they're, like I said, they're in disrepair, so.
right?
The house is a very attractive, small house.
It is, yeah, it's a neat house.
Well built.
And the windows, the shape and the color of them is very appropriate to the building. It looks great. Now, I understand that your condition of the windows is such that you can't repair them.
Right.
And you've questioned that. My only concern is that with the particular window that you're advocating or suggesting here, it's not that so much that it's vinyl, it's just that it's such a bold, strong statement. It's gonna
Yeah.
change the whole appearance of the house.
It would,
Yeah.
it would. I mean, they're going from silver to white.
You're going, yeah,
Or, well, not
dark.
necessarily white.
Yeah,
We may go with an
silver.
earth tone, actually. We
Yeah.
haven't picked out a color yet.
Yeah.
And
But
there's-
are there available windows that are 6/6 in the vinyl that you're
There
interested in?
may be in the front ones, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of grids in vinyl windows, quite honestly. They may make one in between the glass, that I'm pretty sure they don't make an insert for them, but I
Yeah.
can't say for sure, but, yeah, I couldn't say.
Now, if you had to, like, if you had to remove the storm windows on there now and put a different one on, you'd get back to that big bulky look.
Pretty much,
Yeah,
yeah.
you'd get back to a bulky look.
Yeah.
That, but the vinyl's gonna look anyway. If you are allowed to put vinyl windows in, are you gonna put storm windows on too, or?
No.
Right, so you're gonna have that bulky look.
Yeah.
It's single
pretty much.
pane, isn't it, the glass is single pane now?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it looks
just for
like now.
economics, you'd have to try to put on a storm window too, I presume.
Right.
That house has a lot of glass.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It has a lot of glass.
It's
and
beautiful.
It's a very attractive house.
It
and
is.
My only concern is that it changed it so much.
Yeah.
Vinyl windows, there's a great variety of them. That
Right.
particular one seems to be very solid, probably very strong, probably very efficient, but
Yep.
it's going to sure be a drastic change in the overall appearance of the house.
Yeah, that,
Uh,
I will say, my husband and I looked at that house to buy, and there's nothing else you can do.
No.
You can only get vinyl windows.
Yep.
So-
I agree.
Yeah, this part, it comes down to a cost factor. Obviously, putting wood windows in there with grills would cost a small fortune.
But we got
I mean,
some
we're
windows.
remodeling the entire inside of the home.
Right.
yeah.
It's gonna be a sound, it's gonna be done through, all the way through.
We got some windows in Farmington where they put the grids between the panes, and our house has very odd-shaped windows. And they made them fit exactly. So, I mean,
Yeah.
the 6/6, I think, is important to maintain. But there's nothing else that can be done.
Right, right. I don't have so much of an objection to the vinyl in this instance as to going from 6/6 to 1/1.
Right.
That's going to be
That
addressed.
is my concern,
Right.
too.
Yeah.
In this particular case, I'm not claiming this is the world's greatest historic structure.
No.
But it's a darn nice building. It is.
Yeah.
It's very attractive in the neighborhood, and and you have to do something with your windows. I'm not, in that particular case, even though it is a building that's supposed to, I'm supposed to be opposed to it. But
Right.
Yeah.
I can see the reason for going this direction, except that I don't like the appearance of the particular window that you've selected.
I guess the biggest thing that concerns me is, most likely we're gonna go with a white window. It's the most common in the vinyl. And the white grids, like right now, it's kind of a dingy gray. The white grids are gonna really, really stand out. The gray ones are a little more subtle.
You don't know
The
it's
white
the
ones
white.
are gonna really stand out. I mean,
Yes,
I'm-
that's my concern, is what you're.
so it's gonna
Yeah.
kinda go from
You think it's
the
great,
extreme to the other
And it's
direction.
gonna look heavier.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's a pinstripe or something.
I think they'll look
Yeah.
too busy, in other words,
Yeah.
because of the color more so.
Do we have a motion on this, or keep discussing? I mean, this is a house built in roughly 1952, and we're not the HGTV channel, so we're not really supposed to be,
No.
I'll make a motion to
Fine.
approve the vinyl windows.
we're approving individually the vinyl windows, or are we just going
I
to approve
think you ought to
everything
do-
on the list? You want to
You
do
wanna do
individually?
one at a time, or you wanna do the vinyl windows?
Let's do one at a time.
I think
Let's
so.
One at a
too.
time, all right, so
Yeah.
we have a motion to
I
approve
make
the
a
vinyl
motion to approve
windows.
the vinyl windows. With
there
the
a second?
stipulation that we do agree that it kind of goes against this contributing home, but we've done it before, we have a history, and my reasons is the economics of the window and the egress storm windows that are supposedly built on, we've got to get away from that. We've
Okay.
got to make them safe.
All right, is there a second?
Is that a 6/6 window then?
No, I'm
No.
going with the window he suggested. I think the grid's going to make it look like a big washout of white. I think it's going to be too heavy.
Too glaring.
Yeah, it'll be just too much.
Do we have a second?
I'd like to see the grid in it.
I would too.
So so no second on Ed's motion to approve the windows then?
So somebody going to make a motion? that
I make
the vinyl
a-
windows are fine, but we want the grid?
I make a motion to approve the vinyl windows with a 6/6 pattern to keep it like the house.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor of that, say aye.
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 Aye, opposed, say nay. I'm a naysayer on that one, guys. I think it's a terrible idea.
I go say nay. I understand what you're trying to do, and I'm not unhappy that it's been being approved. It's just that I would like to have seen something a little less strong in appearance.
Right. If it,
Because it is going to, it's very close to, it's not a, well, it's a contributing structure. And there are other buildings close to it that are not. But it is very close to a street that has
Right.
buildings that we need to
That are,
very
yeah.
close
Right.
attention to.
So my motion was to approve as is, and then there's a motion that was denied, and then there's a motion to approve with the grid, and then we have two that are voting what?
I think we
original?
should approve it as he presented it personally.
Right, and that's what that was my motion, I didn't get a second.
Yeah, so I agree with you. So if you add it all together, then it's 3-3.
Okay, so I did get a second on my motion.
No.
I
The
can't.
motion before you
I'm-
is 6/6.
I'm president, I don't think
Oh,
I
okay.
can second.
No.
So we didn't get a second, so
So we
go
have,
forward.
It's-
so,
Got a second
On the second one,
on the second one,
Yes.
and you have,
4-2.
let's do it, let's vote out who, on the motion that it's approved on 6/6,
She had a comment.
okay? Who voted for that? George must have. Mickey did yes. I was no. Jamie was yes. Frank was no.
Yes, I am no.
You are no.
and,
Eddie, are you?
And I am no.
Okay, so we're
With that
split
motion.
we are split 3-3. The motion does not carry.
What was the comment that you had wanted to make?
Oh, she was saying that the only 6/6 units are the 4 that are in the front of the house.
They're not,
I think the side and the back are 4/4, I think, maybe.
Those are 6/6.
Right by that.
Oh, no, they are?
Those are all, those are all.
On the side windows as well?
Whatever that basement step
They're,
is.
yeah, they're all 6/6.
So
Wow.
where we stand.
Well, so as we
I
stand right
stand
now, we've
corrected.
got no approval. I mean, let's have some more discussion, see if we can sway someone one way or the other.
We all agree that we like the vinyl, but we're having trouble with the.
Not that we like the vinyl.
Right, I
but-
understand.
Yeah,
Right, I
yeah,
understand.
yeah,
So really, the issues is more about the grids than the vinyl, actually.
yeah.
Well, it's not an issue for me, it's just an issue for the three that have an
Yeah.
issue with that.
Right. I
Well,
think-
in our guidelines, the only reason that I say that is because in our guidelines, it says to stick with what is with the house.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the only reason, because I'm trying to follow the guidelines. But I agree, I totally think
Since-
we should have vinyl windows.
Right. But my opinion is, since we're going to vinyl, like Frank said, we're getting a heavier structure, and the grid is just gonna white it out. Right now, when you drive by, you don't notice the little panel, because that's the design of the window. If he gets that big white in there, then it's gonna look like, whoa, that's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say. It's gonna look overbearing, it's gonna look incorrect
See, I-
too.
Yeah, I noticed.
I'd like to
the
say
mullions
put the
and-
three panels on top like all the surrounding houses have,
Yeah.
but that's kind of not historical correct either, but, you know, the three in the top part, like
3/1.
3/1 that all the
yeah.
other houses have on that block.
Mhm.
And
And I would
could
be
make it
fine with 6/1.
6/1?
But losing all those mullions, I think loses a design element, you know,
Yeah.
to the house.
Guys, I'd just like to throw out, I mean, he's putting a big capital investment in a
Yes.
house,
Yeah.
St. Genevieve.
Yeah,
It's his house, he obviously likes the window he's presented, or he would have chosen the others.
Right, right.
This is a 1952 house, we're the Landmarks Commission, we're supposed to be working on historically
Correct.
relevant homes.
Yeah.
This is 1952, not 1852 and not 1752.
That's right.
May I interrupt? It's a 1940 house.
1940,
So-
not 1840 or
But it's-
1740.
No.
And it's a but it's a contributing
It-
structure.
it is a
And
contributing
But
structure,
that's the
yeah.
thing, it is a contributing structure.
And our period of historic is that late 18th to the 1950s. So that whole period is protected, not just
Right.
the 18th and,
Well, but I think we're
19,
supposed
yeah.
to be the gray area here. This is certainly to be a gray area. This is
Yeah.
a house, no one comes from Seattle, Washington to see the 1940s home who will then say, oh my God, they've got,
Exactly.
they don't have the 6/6, it's the end of my world.
I think
I
that.
mean, it's
I'm
his
just afraid it's
home,
gonna wash it out. I think it's.
and
gonna
and
look
we
like
are,
a-
I don't think we have enough,
yeah.
you know, HGTV power to really say that that's going to look
Probably
better.
just gonna look like a big window without
What
a
he's
grid
doing.
in it.
Yeah,
If you got the
Well,
grid
let's
in it,
ask
you
for
see
some.
something.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I could put grid in the house across the street, I could put grid in the house right there, half a block down there.
Yeah, but what'd you put? Did you put 6/6?
6/6,
Put 6/6?
the,
Okay.
and it don't stick out.
Doesn't, okay.
the picture on the,
I apologize for the pictures.
That's okay,
My
no.
printer was not doing so well.
Yeah. But this is showing the pictures with the mullions in them, you know, so it kind of seems to me that might be available. And like I
Sure.
said, if I can compromise to 6/1, I don't have a problem with that. But I think otherwise it's just.
I don't know that I've ever
gonna
seen that done, though. That, to me, sounds kind of,
be- My
I don't
house
know.
is 6/1.
oh, it is? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
That's
why don't we
what
come back to
Nova
this?
does.
Why don't we go to the other ones? Maybe let's get in the habit of saying yes, and then we'll come back to this at the end, okay?
This one is one that we
It's a real
shouldn't
gray.
consider it disapproved. I mean,
Yeah.
for now, it hasn't passed,
Yeah.
but there is a way out of this one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on to the vinyl sided garage. Is there any motion or discussion on that?
I make a motion to approve the vinyl sided garage.
I'll second.
Motion by Jamie, we have a second by George. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So vinyl sided garage, no problem. Let's move on to the roof shingles on the house.
I make a motion to approve through the history of what we've approved before.
Okay, motion
Second.
approved, second by Frank. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Shingle roof is great. Moving on to the kitchen cabinets, flooring, and paint.
No,
Doesn't
no,
require.
that's not-
Doesn't require, so it's already,
Yeah.
that was already knocked out. Move on to the guardrail on the rear.
And just for the sake, I want to ask, what kind of guardrail?
It's made out of 1.25 inch galvanized pipe, like plumbing pipe.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Will it have,
It had chicken wire attached to the back of it.
Okay.
And what are you wanting to do?
We're going to put pickets on it.
Okay.
oh, okay.
Vinyl pickets or wood?
Wood.
Wood primed paint?
I don't have
Well,
any-
that's even
yeah.
more historical.
Now, when I drove by, I could not see that, and whether I was just coming from the wrong direction. Is that in the back of the house?
It's on the back,
On the
yep.
back? Okay.
No streetscape.
No.
Well, the
streetscape.
picture shows that in place, is that the case?
I'm sorry?
This
That's what's
picture-
there now.
What?
That's what's there now.
And what is he going to, you,
Add pickets.
He wants to
Add
put picket
pickets.
fence on it. Yeah, I think that's an improvement.
I guess this is a moot point, but what color
Yeah.
is the vinyl?
On the garage? Oh,
do you have a
I'm
second?
going with white vinyl on the garage?
We already passed the.
It'll probably be a
Yeah.
sandstone.
Line.
Sandstone, okay.
Yeah, and we don't vote on color.
Right.
Well, I know, I was
Yeah.
just
Nice to
wondering.
know.
Yeah, it's nice to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a motion on the guardrail?
I make some motion to approve it.
Motion approved by Ed, second by Frank.
Take your pick.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're back to the final item again. Final windows. We're a hung jury, 3-3. I don't want to be here all night. I assume nobody else does. Teddy, what do you think?
I'd just like to make a comment. You know, I'm listening to everybody here on this board. And it's come out to his personal preference. Mickey will go with 6 up with 1 down.
But,
George wants 6 and 6. Frank says the panels would be too much, and that's what Ed said. So
No,
right
I
now, you
think
got
so.
4 or 5 people.
no.
Then you got the guy
Mickey's
that
correct.
wants to do it less here,
Uh-huh.
that says he just wants a plain window. We got 5 different people saying this is our preference.
No,
No,
it's not.
It's
We've
not.
got a document that says you will put it back as it was.
But yeah, but
And
everybody's
we
got
have
different
compromised,
ideas of what
we've all
it
said,
was.
we're going to allow vinyl
yeah.
because it is
No.
Yes.
somewhat different. But
Okay.
all I have said is that the particular window he's proposing is going to greatly change the appearance of the house, and our guidelines don't recommend that. In fact, they prohibit it. And
So,
that's what we're saying. Vinyl, fine. The manufacturer, no question. I mean, that's not our
We just
business.
gotta figure
Yeah.
out.
It's just that if we get the right
That's what makes this
configuration of the
difficult.
vinyl.
I mean,
Yeah.
we are trying to follow the
Mickey's
guidelines
correct.
that
If it's
the
6 over
alderman set
6,
up.
it should stay 6 over 6. We've allowed vinyl window, but
Right.
then the personal opinions come in that we think it's just gonna
Could you
make
get
it
the
look
windows in sandstone?
like a bad
Pardon me?
vinyl
Could
window.
you get the
Yeah.
windows in sandstone?
They're available in an earth tone, they call it. It doesn't say exactly what it is.
Because if it kind of
Yeah.
went with the vinyl, that's
According
why I
to
asked that question.
the
The
guidelines,
white wouldn't.
it should
be
stay
blended, so
as it
would be
is.
as-
Right.
But we're.
I think the white's more personal preference for the homeowner, actually.
That's-
They have
but
a
I'm
brick house,
saying
another
that
brick
I'm-
house, and it's got white windows in it, and that's kind of what they like.
To work.
So it really, it's more
Yeah.
personal preference than
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, well, because if it were another color, like the gray.
It would be, it wouldn't stand out as bad, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I asked about the vinyl.
Yep.
I was trying to find a way.
I just
Can
have
we,
one
can we reintroduce a motion?
Pardon me?
Yeah,
Yes, we
because-
can. We have, motions have failed.
Can I get them? I believe so.
6 over 6 window.
He said he can get them, 6 over 6.
What?
He said he can get.
They're
6
available.
over 6
They're
windows.
available.
I think we have
That's
to
what
go
my
with 6
motion
over
is.
6.
We approve
Okay.
them.
Is there a motion on the floor?
Frank is making a new motion.
Okay, Frank, what is the motion?
I make a motion that we approve 6 over, the windows as submitted, but with the 6 over 6 configuration.
Okay, is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Your second, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, all opposed, say nay. I'm still a nay. I think he should choose his own window on that one. All right, then the motion carries for windows with 6 over 6.
One other quick question.
Okay.
Yes.
I've seen in the past where they would do something in the front of the house that they didn't normally do on the sides. A lot of times people brick the front of the home and then do vinyl on the sides and the back. what about putting grids in the front windows and not the sides and the back?
I
So
feel like
still
that is
basically keeps-
fine by our guidelines because it's streets.
Streetscape.
Yeah.
Do we need to get another for that, or can we go ahead and?
We would have to have another motion
Mhm.
to go back and redefine
Okay.
the last
Okay,
motion.
good point, sir.
Yeah.
I make a motion to put 6/6 vinyl windows in the front of the house, whatever color you should choose, and 1/1, if that's what you should choose, on the back and sides.
And I'll second that.
Okay? Does that work for you?
That'd be fine.
Okay, we have a second from Ed. All in favor, say aye. I'll go with that one. Motion carries. Thanks for being here. Thanks for putting an investment in the town.
Sorry for the trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
We move to one way or the other.
Next up is HPCA number 14-0721B, which is a request to construct a wood fence on the side of the property around the service area containing a red metal shed and refuse dumpster for the commercial business in the structure. And I believe we have Beth from Station 2 Cafe here.
My dad, Keith Johnson, had a prior commitment, couldn't make it tonight.
No problem.
It's our privilege to have you.
Oh, well, thank you.
And we love your soup. So, are there any questions or discussion for Beth and her fence?
Basically, there's a dumpster twice a week. We have a lot of boxes for recycling, and when you walk north up Main Street, it's one of the first things you see, and it's just not attractive. And we'd just like to put a really simple fence there to conceal that. It would just be on two sides. So what you can see in your picture would be the only two sides of the fence.
Okay.
That's 6 foot though?
Yes,
It's mainly to hide the dumpsters.
correct.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve. I
Motion
second.
approved by Mickey,
Yeah.
second by Jamie. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Go build a fence and keep making great soup.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, next is HPCA number 14-0721C, a request to construct a handicapped ramp and doorway at the rear of an accessory building number 1 co-op hospitality room, add a privacy fence with doorway from the accessory building co-op hospitality room to the horse barn, and accessory building number 2, horse barn, 351 St. Mary's Road at the Baguette Rabot House property. And is the applicant here?
Yes.
Come forward and see if they have any questions, or if you want to give just a macro overview, that would be good too.
My name is Hank Johnson. My wife and I are the owners of Chomet Inc., which is the operator of Chomet Vineyards and Winery, and the Beckett Rabot House owner and developer. What we hope to do is build a handicap compliant ramp on the west side of the chicken coop, which will be our hospitality center, and then to construct a board fence in front of it with weathered wood, and that will fit in with the look of the building, and then extend that fence in an L shape to intersect with the big barn that is the second building there going west, and then to open up the right third of the facade of that building so that it matches the left third. Those are the things that we would like to do.
Take them one at a time?
I think we should do
Yep.
one at a time. I think
Yep.
that'd be appropriate. So, let me go through the thing.
I make a motion to approve the concrete ramp for handicap with the wooden
It will be the concrete pad
pad,
and the wooden ramp.
wooden ramp with a wooden privacy fence,
We're
I
going to take
guess.
the fence up. I thought we said.
Well, I'm trying to
That's-
figure out where the listing is of these items from this way.
See, I thought that was
Go
one.
from the
Yeah.
letter here.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's at the bottom, it just starts with.
At request.
Yeah.
Here. Applicant has
Okay,
requested.
okay. All right, so let's start with
So-
number 1. Is there a motion on number
That's okay.
1?
Okay.
And again, we're making a motion on installing a concrete ramp from the rear handicapped entrance down to the south driveway for access by patrons to the facility. Is there a motion on that one?
I'll make that
Is there
motion.
a motion by
Yes.
Mickey,
I second.
second by Jamie? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So item 1 passes. We're moving now to item number
I see
2.
that.
to install a wood fence along the handicap concrete ramp of accessory building number 1 to accessory building number 2. Is there a motion on that?
Motion to approve.
How tall is that fence?
About 6 feet.
Oh, okay. I second that motion.
A question, where is the parking going to be?
If you can sort of visualize the
Yeah.
campus there, there's kind of a stockade, partial stockade fence.
Yes.
Everything from the stockade fence to the property line will become a parking lot, and the idea is to gravel that.
Okay,
Okay,
Now, at the foot of the ramp would be a concrete pad,
yes.
so that, about 4 feet by 4 feet, so that someone with a handicapped person in their car can pull right up to the pad, open the door, take a wheelchair or whatever out, board that, and go right up the ramp and into the building.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And before you get away from us, I just want to compliment you on the work that's been done there.
oh, yes,
Thank you very
Yes.
much. Thank you
Very
indeed.
Really a great improvement
yeah.
to a building that we were concerned about. It's
Yeah.
extremely important building, and you've done beautiful work on it.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
All right, so we had a motion by George to approve.
Second,
George, Frank's got it.
Frank seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 2 carries. Item number 3, accessory building number 2, to modify the barn by removing some of the vertical wood siding to add a symmetrical opening at the northwestern side of the facade of the barn to match the opening on the east-western side of the barn. Any discussion or a motion on that?
Let me ask a question first. In that building, was there an old house in there or something?
There is.
There's another
yeah,
structure
the
that
The
isn't.
Beckett-Rabold is the house that's there, and these are the 2 accessory.
I know, but
There's
when
a-
it,
there's a
Foundation for a
third building.
Oh,
You have
Third
to-
I
building.
Yeah.
have an answer, I believe, to that.
okay.
At the time the other
took something
vertical
away.
log building was brought in, the Durand cabin, it had been actually 2 rooms. And it was so badly deteriorated that they could not reconstruct the second room. There's a number of timbers that were part of that room that were put in the barn that we have there now.
well, there is another structure in there also. There was, I won't say there is,
Back of the
but the,
no, this is a different one.
it's the Rozier cabin.
That's
think
what I
is
thought.
I've talked to a couple people about that, and there seems to be some real conflicting information about that. There's a guy named Jesse Francis that some of you may know. He is the person that was there at the time that cabin was moved. He says that everything that's in the barn is in fact what was left of the other room of the Durand cabin. I have no idea
Okay.
whether that's
So
correct or not.
Yeah.
Jesse has firsthand knowledge, he worked on it.
He was
Yeah.
there at the time.
Yes.
Yeah,
My only, I was concerned because the documentation that's in the record says that the Rozier cabin was put there. But if it's not there, it's not there.
There are some hand-hewn
That's
beams
many
in there,
years ago.
which we intend to keep for sure.
And when-
It
when
does
the-
not appear there are enough to reconstruct anything, but
Yeah.
maybe fill in, use some for repair, and maybe to the north side of the Durand cabin has a big opening. It may be that we can use some of those timbers someday to fill that in.
Well, that was a rush job. The owner insisted that it be moved immediately. Will Hoff took it
Yes.
on, moved it, and they didn't get it all. It was quite a nice structure.
I have the Habs drawing of that building that does show the second room.
The one question I had to ask about the barn, though, is you say now it's all in stalls and the like.
No, just the west third is
Yeah.
in some stalls, yeah.
And that, I understand what you want to do, and I have no objections to that. It's just that if you wanted it sometime to emphasize the agricultural aspects of it, it might be, someone might, or you might, want to reinstate the stalls, because that, in a barn, that
They're pretty badly worn right now.
Okay.
I'm not disagreeing, there would be some merit in that.
Well, if they're not suitable to save, perhaps you can just
Really
leave a good,
very questionable
leave a good
amount of
address or a good sketch as to what they were, so that if you ever wanted to reconstruct, you could.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
I just had, from our previous meetings, we had learned that there had possibly been another building in there. That's why I was concerned before we moved on.
I'd sure be open to any information anybody has about that Rozier cabin. I've heard those stories too.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I make a motion to modify the barn.
Okay, so to approve item 3,
Yes.
basically?
Mhm.
Is
I'll
there-
second that.
Second, Mickey
Yeah.
seconds, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks a lot for being here, we really
Thank
like
you
what
very
you're
much.
doing, so, did a great job. All right, now we move on to old business, and we do have one item of old business, which is the applicant from 398 Roberts would like to talk to us.
I was here before, and we were talking about putting the shed behind the garage. Well, since that out kitchen's there, there's no way we can swing it through there and get it there. And we were measuring, and the shed and the garage is the exact same measurements, 12 by 20. And if we was to put it there, too much of it would stick out the back and it would look hideous. I mean, it would looks, I would rather keep it where it's at and maybe plant the shrubbery like we talked before.
Right, I was gonna say, that was some of the consideration of
Yeah.
putting the shrubbery there.
Well, because
so-
if we was to put the shed there, I mean, we just can't get it to where we wanted it behind the garage. I was fine with that
Yeah.
until got home and realized how close it would be to the out kitchen right there.
Yeah. And this is, it's the back of the shed, isn't it, that's facing the street?
The front doors.
Front doors, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'cause
The
it-
objective is not to be a distraction from the house across the street because of its importance.
Right. And we had talked maybe
Anything that
about,
anything that would ease that
yeah.
is.
We had
could
talked
suggest
about maybe planting shrubbery.
Shrubbery would do it fine.
But the door's facing the streetscape, right? As we drive by them, we see
Right.
this
The
building.
door faces
So-
the historic home.
So you
Yeah.
can't plant shrubberies in front of the door, so we're really not gonna
Right.
hide them.
I was maybe like up where the sidewalk is.
Yeah,
A little bit
that,
closer. Okay.
Make like a privacy fence only using shrubbery. I thought that would.
Right, up near where we could hide the door.
Right.
Could you swing it around and put the door to the back? To where you could put the shrubbery right up against, and it wouldn't look like.
And if we did the distance,
lines.
we would be going in someone else's
Okay, the
property.
property lines, yeah.
Because we thought about that too.
but if you have the shrubbery next to the sidewalk, that will still allow you
Right.
accessibility
Yeah.
to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we be a little more specific about the nature of the plantings you'd like to see?
Yeah, we want to hide, we need.
Yeah,
we can't put-
so.
Yeah, it has to be something tall.
Yeah, ornamental, well, whatever's,
Is there going to be a driveway to the shed?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
you know, Japanese St. John Hughes, whatever they are maybe, but they take so long to grow, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking of something,
Arbor Vitae
Years.
would cover that
Yes.
Arbor
in
Vitae.
3 years.
Yep,
because it's under a tree, I can't really put anything against it because nothing's
Mm-hmm.
going to grow under the tree. So I was thinking, out there, maybe
What
some
about
rose
crepe
of
myrtles?
Sharon's,
Those
them
get
grow
pretty tall.
fast.
I have a black thumb. I'm not going to enter into this discussion at all.
well, we need height.
Yeah.
We-
Don't crepe myrtles get pretty tall?
Yeah.
And
I
they're
was
black
thinking
to
them
brown.
or Rose of Sharon's, because them get pretty high and they grow pretty fast.
Yeah.
Guys, Robert's Rules of Orders, if we want to go forward with this, we have to rescind the motion from before.
Okay.
So we have to make a motion to rescind, second it, vote that, then we can make the new motion. So
I
I'd like to
will-
make a motion to rescind.
I will make the motion to rescind the previous motion on 398 Roberts, where we were allowing it to be moved behind the garage and behind the summer kitchen.
Okay, so we have a motion to rescind. Is there a second on the motion to rescind?
I make a second,
Jamie,
please.
second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion to rescind carries. Now we can make a new motion.
Okay, I think that we do not have any, we don't make motions concerning types of plantings. We had discussed, I know a long time ago, about maybe getting something concerning trees. So if we just make a motion to say that it would be a planting that would
Achieve sufficient height
to mask that, would that
If
be
she likes Rosa
appropriate?
Sharon, she can go to Rosa Sharon.
Yeah.
That work for you?
That or crepe myrtle, like she said, crepe myrtles, they grow fast. And
Yeah. And if you need
Yes, there's
suggestions,
some lines.
anybody else here can make them, not me. So
they're-
go
Not
for it.
either.
Do
So,
we need a time set for when these will be planted, or are we just gonna leave it at their discretion?
no.
Well, I mean, I think planting's kind of a seasonal thing. She
Right,
needs to
but
consult with
within the-
whoever
within the
provides
time.
the material to her.
Within a
plant it at
year,
the
yeah.
appropriate time.
Yeah,
Year
there you
or
go,
something.
within a
Yeah,
year.
We need a time.
Within a
Yes.
year.
Okay,
Yeah.
I make the motion
Right.
that you leave the structure where it is at, planting some plantings at your convenience to mask it, so that lets you put
Within
them
1 year.
next to
Within a
the
year.
sidewalk, and it's done within a year,
Okay,
okay?
okay.
Okay, so that's Mickey's motion. And you got that?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
George seconds. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. You're in business.
Alrighty, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hmm? No, now she's got to go back.
Now she's got to go back.
All right, do we have any new business?
I gotta go back to court.
Those left in the audience,
It doesn't meet the building code.
thinking maybe not.
Oh,
So she was in court today,
Any citizen input?
pending your decision.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
a question.
Go ahead.
We had a committee set up to change some things in the landmarks committee, maybe the members, maybe the time. Where did that go?
Go ask Martin.
It's still in process.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure it didn't go away with.
It has not gone away.
Okay, good.
There were actually discussions today.
Very good.
Petrie's presence here will facilitate the completion of that work.
Okay, good.
May I ask another question? Like, what, are you carrying on all the duties that Brenda did, or have we restructured things?
No, I believe it's all.
The only
duties
difference
is
between,
title change.
we changed the title because over the years, people have said to me, why is the planning and zoning administrator making building code interpretations?
right.
So in
Okay.
order to clarify the fact that this was not just planning and zoning administrative work, we expanded the title.
Okay, well, I,
Now, the difference between what was happening in prior circumstances, I will be more involved in her work, and it'll be more collaborative than it was before.
Okay. Okay.
But the name of the commission will remain as it is?
That's up to the committee to
Okay.
make a recommendation. As soon as Petrie's kind of addressed that,
and who's on this
administrative
committee?
issue, then we'll come back.
I mean, there's no need for the commission and the head of her department to have the same name.
Oh, no.
No.
No, okay.
But
Yeah.
whether the committee recommends the name change,
Yeah.
that's up to the committee.
All right. So with no citizen input, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned by George, second. Second by Mickey. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned.
Channel 7 and 98 TV and web broadcasting are made possible through contributions and donations from viewers like you. Thank you for your support.